Hey guys, Ashley Elizabeth here with AEHM Artistry, and today I'm going to be giving my first impression on the Laura Mercier Set and Glow Trio, as well as a little bit of the Real Techniques new Diamond Sponge. The packaging just on this one totally got me suckered. It is marble and diamond shaped, and I'm gonna do half my face with my normal setting powder technique, bake my under eyes, and then I'm gonna be doing the other side of my face the way that the Laura Mercier setting powders recommends to set it. The Laura Mercier setting powders have like a cult following, and I gotta get my hands on it and see what all the fuss is about, see if it lives up to the hype. Before you leave, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you like what you see, please give a thumbs up. Let's get started. Cleansed, moisturized, and primed my face. I'm gonna be going in with one of my favorite foundations. That way I can give the translucent powder a really honest feedback, because I'm using something that's tried and true and I love. Okay, now let's unbox this sucker and get started. So it comes with the little powder puff that they recommend using, so we're going to use that on one side of the face. This is the Secret Eye Brightening Powder, so that is specifically for the under eyes, which we all know I need to make sure I set that so it don't crease. This is the travel size of the classic translucent loose setting powder, and then they also have the mineral illuminating powder and the candlelight shade. So that you can either use to set all over, it says. I'm gonna just use it to highlight my cheekbones, you know, Cupid's bow. One half of my face like I normally do, which is the beauty blender technique, where you spray your sponge or wet it and then pat it on, let it bake, then kind of dust the other areas. And then the other side, I'm gonna do what they recommend, which is the Secret Under Eye Brightening Powder. I will be using a little camouflage powder brush to help set under the eye areas and dust it on, not letting it bake. The translucent powder, I'm going to be saturating the mini powder puff and then remove excess on the top of my hand and press the powder into my skin in a rolling technique. And then we're gonna see which side we like better. If either, do we like both? Who knows? Let's go ahead and see. Okay, now I just emptied my powders into the cap to get like a lot more going. And I will say the sifter on this is actually kind of nice, because sometimes sifters don't put out enough, sometimes they put out too much, but that wasn't too challenging. It was nice in between. Travel-wise, it might spill everywhere, but we'll see. Okay, so far with this sponge, it is really stiff, where the Beauty Blender sponge is very flexible. I thought this little pointed tip would get in there really nicely, but it's interesting so far. So I might do like a first impression on like how to use it just like a normal Beauty Blender while I use all my foundations and everything with it. But today I wanted to focus on the powder. Now the translucent powder, the original, is actually going a little bit better than the under eye one. It's going on a lot smoother. So you're saying there's a chance. All right, let's do the side that they recommend. So far, the brush side for the brightening under eye powder feels like it's going on. Let's try the velour puff now. Doing it, and I'm saturating the little powder puff in the cap, and I'm going to tap off the excess on my hand, and then I'm going to pat it on all the other areas that I needed. All right, I'm gonna let this side set, and then I'm gonna dust it all off, and then you guys can see what that's like before I contour, and then I'll contour and come back. Okay, so here's the two sides. So far, they're very similar. We'll see what happens. Ooh, no, so my under eyes are quite different. So the side right here versus the side right here. Oh, I have more wrinkles naturally on this side. Ooh, but look at, you can see all the powder still, and I'm rubbing like crazy. So just maybe, I'm gonna go look in some other mirrors and see, do my contour, everything, and then check back in with you so I can give like a real honest feedback on what I'm seeing. Okay, so I just finished my contour and did some lips. Now we have to do our final first impression on the illuminating powder that came in that kit too. Let's do this side with the brush that she recommends. I'm just gonna do it on the cheeks. Has like a really rose gold kind of undertone, really pretty. I'll just do it right there too. Subtle. It's subtle, but it's pretty. Let's go ahead and do an intensifying technique where you spray a beauty blender or sponge or wet it very gently. Don't want it to be too damp. And dip it in your powder. And you put it on those areas and then blend it out. Oh, don't do it that way. It's a little clumpy that way, got to say. So it's okay. Just got a little bit clumpy. And didn't really intensify. It did a little bit. No, I see it. It just, as a highlighter, it's just a little too glittery for me. I think I'm gonna have to play around with this one a little bit and see maybe if I can get it to work. Maybe it's better as a finishing powder. I just feel like it's a little too glittery as a setting powder, but I'll play around with that one and check back in with you guys. And if I like it, you'll see it again. Okay, so I'm here to give my final first impressions on the Laura Mercier setting powders and the Real Techniques Diamond Sponge, starting with the Secret Brightening Powder. I like it. So far, so good. I definitely do see a difference of this giving the brightening effect as opposed to just the regular, setting powder from the Laura Mercier, the translucent. That was really nice because it definitely is going to help with the under eye circles. Now I'm curious how Flashback's going to go, so I'm going to post some pictures and then post them towards the end of this video just so you can kind of see if it gives flashback and everything. And then the cult favorite, the TSLP, or the loose setting powder in the translucent shade. I do so far like this one a lot more than my regular setting powders that I've used. And the reason why is just because I just feel like it's all over. I just look softened, diffused, it's set it nice. I haven't seen any creasing from either of the powders yet, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna wear it for a couple hours and then post a picture along with that final one with the flashback. And then with the illuminating powder, so far I think it's a little bit glittery, a little bit. For a setting powder to be glittery, it's kind of scaring me. I'm gonna try it that way and see how I like it. And then when the way I used it for an illuminating powder, it was fine. It wasn't something that I love yet, so I will continue to use that and see if I can make it work or if it's a dud. And then the Real Techniques Diamond Sponge, the packaging got me. It is so cute. I'm gonna test this and give it a real honest feedback the way I would normally use a beauty blender. But so far, the way I use it today to bake, it was okay. It wasn't anything special as opposed to just a regular triangle sponge or even my beauty blender. So I'm gonna keep playing with this and let you guys know how I like it. Now, if you wanna get any of these products, I picked up the Set and Glow Trio from Nordstrom's for $45. My honest feedback on the value of this set is it's not a good value because I was there at Nordstrom's coming to get the full-size powders, and then I saw this and I was like, oh, this is great. I can just try them all and see how I like them without having to invest in the large sizes. Then I got home and researched it some more, and I realized that the translucent setting powder is a 1 ounce size, where this one is 0.33 ounces. That's really small. And so I added up all of the setting powders together, and it only comes up to be a ½ ounce altogether, where the 1 ounce full-size setting powder, I believe, is 38. So I almost feel like I would just buy so far off of this impression, the translucent setting powder and the under eye brightening powder, the puff, I don't know. I don't really see that much of a difference in the two sides of my face. They both look nice. I'd say I liked the baking side a little bit better as opposed to using the brush. I do see a little bit more creasing there, but with baking, sometimes it sets a little bit better. So, I mean, the powder puff, it's nice. It's better for on the go, for sure, if you don't have time to bake. And then the Real Techniques Diamond Sponge I picked up at Ulta today. I'm sure you can find it on their website. That one was $9.99. So interesting. We'll see how that one goes. Anyways, I hope that you guys liked this and got some information from it. I was very curious because everybody in the beauty world is obsessed with this translucent powder right here, and I gotta say, I might be obsessed with it too. So far, so good. So we got some yays and some, I don't know, I'll give it a chance type of products today. Anyway, stay tuned till the next time. Love you guys.